All right, yeah, it's coming live now.
Is the light okay?
Yes, it's okay. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our global family. This is Power to Lead Show with NTSIKI NCOCO. It's Empower Hour with Dr. MVUSY SONGELWA. And first of all, I would really like to send out a big apology for the time the server was stuck and we had to wait to create other links. So sorry. We really apologize. For those who come from the rural areas, you will understand. Sometimes you drive on the road. We have cows here and donkeys, and we call them our robots. Sometimes they will just stand still on the road as you have to drive through. There is nothing you can do. If they block the road, they block it. You have to get out of the car, gently push them, drive them away from the road, and drive through again. So we had that kind of a hiccup today. And luckily, our guest understands that very well because she has a very powerful teaching on a crawl leadership. So she understands how the bulls deal with us on the crawl. And again, sorry, we really apologize, Dr. MVUSY. Thank you so much for being so patient. And really, one of the testimonies I saw about you that you are a quiet, gentle person. I saw it in the 30 minutes you have been with me. It's like, what's going on, Lord? I mean, the show must go on and nothing is happening. But thank you so much. Maybe this was God's timing for us. We thank God for that. Let me just quickly open up with a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for what you are doing for us, Almighty God, in this season. And we pray that you guide us, you calm us down, Almighty God, emotionally. We are going to talk about balancing emotions, self, and leadership. We have to balance it right now as we're challenged in the studio. So calm us down, Holy Spirit. Let us do what you wanted us to do. Thank you so much, Almighty God. We give you glory, honor, and worship you in the mighty name of Yeshua. Amen and amen. Without wasting time, I want to bring in Dr. MVUSY closer to us so that she can tell us who she is really. Already I know, beyond that, I thought I know her, but I know she is so patient. She is so patient with a smile in the can. It was like, okay, this now, there's a show on the show. But here we are. We rolled the virtual golden carpet, and on the golden stage, we have Dr. MVUSY SONGELWA. She reigns from the Eastern Cape, and this is in South Africa. Dr. MVUSY, tell us who you are. And we do this because you understand it again very well in our language. We say, Umtu inkosi ukuzazi. So you know yourself better. And we teach the younger ones or people who have no confidence to tell who they are or to know who they are. So we're bringing up that inner self of know who you are and what you offer. Over to you. Thank you. I love you so much.
Thank you very much, Ntsiki. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate you bringing me on board on this show. Talking about the rural settings and the cattle. I'm a cattle header, but we'll get into that.
Yes.
Having been in the conservation industry for a lot of time, the elephants are even more stubborn than the cows. So you can't get out. You just have to wait, you know. So yes, I think technology was just testing my emotional balance, which is the topic for today. As you had introduced me, my name is MVUSY, and that is a short name for Nomvuselelo. So every time when I travel in Ziggy, people are actually, which is probably the same with you. Your name is not Nzigi, the full name, but we
Yes.
actually had to shorten it for our global citizens to be able to do that. And even
Yes.
when I say Mvusi, then people say, okay, am I pronouncing it correct? But my introduction, really, I have learned to introduce myself by who I am, who
Okay.
I have discovered to be through a long life journey of trying to dig deeper why I see the world the way that I do. And through that transformation journey, I I introduce myself and say I am, if you can't remember Mvusi, you can say she is RCC. So the R is talking to the fact that I really regard myself as a living example of resilience. Throughout my long life, which is more than 5 decades, which is going to be closer to 6 decades, I have gone through loops. I have jumped high jumps. I have crawled. I have stumbled. I have fallen from to the personal life and professionally. So when I was writing my book, I kind of like, yeah, I am one of those people who are a living example of resilience. And in fact, I see that mostly when I am at the corner, you know, when I am not in a job, when there's no title associated with me, when I have to actually really dig deeper, pray enough, and pray for stillness, pray for peace, pray for wisdom. The C part is, I believe, in terms of leadership, I have been shaped by my childhood experience, which is that of a cattle header. And when I was really digging through, I kind of like picked up some of the things that I had to apply in leadership, in parenting, and now in coaching, actually. That, okay, all these things I was prepared even before I understood the journey of leadership that I was going to be. Because I grew up in a rural areas as a first daughter. There were no, I didn't have brothers. So I had to actually assume that responsibility at a very young age, you know, cattle herding, and looking after the assets of my parents when they were not there, but living in a community that was supporting me, knowing that I was that orphan, you know, they were looking after me. So I call myself a cattle header, and that's the reason why you will see that I say I'm Coach Umalusi. Umalusi in isiXhosa is anybody who actually has looked after livestock. I'm a change agent in some way, you know. So that is why I say RCC. We can probably talk about that later. But in my tombstone, I would like that it is written, here lies a header of people, Umalusi, a nurturer and the revival of souls who had inspired others. That's my introduction.
All right. Um,
Maybe I must just say what I'm passionate about. Are you there, Nziki?
Yes, yes, Dr. Mvusi, say that. I'm coming
I
up after that.
Okay, I'm actually
Yes.
passionate about fairness.
Okay.
Fairness, authenticity are those things that I'm passionate about. So the voices and visibility of those that are voiceless, be it women, the communities, or leaders. Those are the things that I'm passionate. That's the values that I'm passionate about.
All right. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. And I love that authenticity that you're passionate about. And also, now you also went through reading my mind. Because I was going to say, this scroll story on the balancing the leadership between self and the emotions between self and leadership, and you taking up leadership roles to an extent of people being deeply influenced, because I paparazzi our special guests. So I go around, I check when I prepare for the show and with the guests, and I found a beautiful testimony that really, I think it will bring you into tears again if I read it
Yeah,
today. And
yeah,
also, me, it's like, wow, this is the leadership that I aligned with. This is a sister that I know a long time ago before she became who she is today. And also bringing us together that, when we know each other a long time, are we able as sisters to support each other? To lift each other up, to appreciate each other, to celebrate each other. That is the authenticity that I love. And also to say, you are a firstborn. Is it because you are a firstborn that you took it upon yourself and you have all these gifts and talents that are your stronger inbuilt, or it's a combination? What is it exactly? Tell us, as me, who is a middle child.
It's a combination of a lot of things. You will know that Nziki, not all firstborns are responsible, both
Exactly.
girls and boys.
Yeah.
And in any family, you will find out that there is just but one who will take that leadership role. So I guess it's really, for me, it's the blessing that we kind of like are given as individuals. As you all know, that we come on this earth, and we all are unique, and we all have the purpose that we assigned to do without us knowing. So I can say yes, for me, as being a firstborn, and I had three of my brothers who passed on at infancy. And my parents, in particular my father, didn't have a choice but to give me that role and groomed me and socialized me as a boy at a younger age. So I took the responsibility of looking after myself and myself first, my household, and also being an example in the community. So I really didn't want to disappoint my father in particular, because he came from the poorest household of my bigger family in my community, and I became the first graduate in my community. I became the first doctor in my community. So I had all the first. So I carry along that kind of, my shoulders are very broad, if you would, as you if you see my physique. So whatever I do, I always like think back about the name of the Songelwa family. I would really like to make it a point that all the people that say carry this surname, when they come to you or they meet you and they have known me, they actually really think of an inspiration or somebody who has made an impact. So you assume also that role within yourself. No one is going to tell you. You kind of like say, what is the legacy that I want to leave? Which really takes time for other people to kind of like take that responsibility. Yes, when I grew up like any other child, I was deprived of some things. I deprived myself of some things, some opportunities, because obviously I had all these fears, the fear of actually being vulnerable, the fear of being criticized, and I have always wanted to be perfect. And I looked up to people. Sometimes I got the good answers and the bad answers, that shaped me along the way. So there are friends, there are family people, there are strangers who have shaped me, not only here in this country, globally as well. So I can attribute that to that socialization, that exposure, and meeting many wonderful men and women who actually saw an opportunity and a potential for me and leashed me out. And I embraced it. Yet I still emotionally deep down had those kind of fears. Deep down, I still doubted myself. Deep down, I still have this imposter syndrome. Deep down, I actually led others the way that I it wasn't me. So long time ago, I think that is really what shaped me.
Wow.
To you,
You
Tiki.
know, I'm listening to you with passion, and I hear a lot of, the strengths from within. First of all, I picked up the respect, and the respect from within. You respect not just yourself only, it extended to your parents, of which it is expected of you, but you extended that to the family and to the community, because
Yes.
now you are this icon. I remembered in the week, even at UNITRA, there would be a community when it was graduation time. It will be the whole bus that comes from a certain village, because
Mm,
there's one person who
yeah.
broke that thing in the area that there's no graduate in this area.
Oh my
And
God.
now everyone is excited. They get on buses, but there's one person who was going to graduate. And they didn't mind to be in the great, not to be in the great hall, but to be in the auditorium or even outside just waiting, not having a space to go in and see the ceremony because of the space is not allowing everybody. But the fact that they're in the bus with you wearing that gown, it makes the whole community so excited, so proud of what is coming out of them. That
Wow.
respect is what I respect out of you again. And
Wow.
now, yes, that rod. How did you then balance that rod? Because that was a strong rod of respect with the weak rod of fear and doubt.
Yes.
How did you do this to be this global icon today?
Tsiki, I can really say with a high insight that sometimes we think that the road ahead of us is by our own design. You know how we were groomed is to use the intellect, you know. We always just wanted to be the best all the time. We think we know best. Um, and for me, you actually nearly made me emotional just now because it just reminded me of my first graduation. Because we came from a very poor family, we couldn't even hold the graduation in my at my father's house. But the whole community, Songelwa community, you know, came together. You know, it was like this pride in Umtata with but you know, it's those kind of things of kind of you remember the people that have baked you scones when you're going to high school. You remember those people who gave you a suitcase when you couldn't. And that for me grounded me. When I am at the corner, the very first thing that I think of is to go back to Zilitwa, Uqumbu. If I'm not going there to actually just sit and sleep over at home for about a week or so, even when things are good, then I will just go and make a celebration, invite the whole community, people eat, drink, and it just for me brings, you know, it revives me, and it's a way for me that I have defined as ndicela intsikelelo, you know, asking for blessings, you know, from the community for everybody, and also just inspiring the young people to know that it doesn't matter how exposed they are, how much English they speak, how global they have traveled, how many books they have read, how many titles they have. When those titles and those positions are no more there, the only people that will remain is the very same community that is looking after your parents and your siblings when you are not there. So I always like go back, you know, go out, get lost, you know, intellectually and whatever, and always like go home and just like be, you know. So for me, that balance is you must actually just have a very good support system. It doesn't matter if your parents or family are not schooled, but just have something that actually grounds you, you know, in some way or the other. And for me, that actually has always been that. I've always had strangers, unfortunately, and fortunately. Fortunately, in that it's people who wouldn't drag my mistakes or drag what they have known me to be. It's people that embrace me as who I am and how I show up at the moment to actually see the potential in me. I will go back to those people, ask for advice. This is, you know, this is where I am. What is it that I can do? This is what I aspire to do. And you find that the universe brings those people who will elevate you.
Wow. I love this. You know what I like the most, Dr. Mvusi, is the ask, where even if you know you have studied, you have been groomed back home, but as you continue in leadership and journey on in life, you ask from other icons, you ask from other people who have gone before you. Now let's get to another reality in the asking. When you ask from women, there is this kind of tendency and this word that is always out there, queen bee.
Yeah.
We know there are queen bees out there. They are termed queen bees because they are the first to do something. Therefore, they must always shine and always be in that top position and always be embraced and celebrated, but never open a door for others to come in or even groom others, mentor them, coach them to learn how it is done. How has your experience been, in that area? Have you
Yeah,
been embraced? Have you been let down? Or was it a combination? Did you have to
yeah.
fight through?
You yes, Nsiki, this is life,
Yes.
and we are human beings, all of us, and we
Okay.
all have egos,
Mm.
all of us.
Mm.
And even myself, I think when I grew up, maybe
Mm.
either my sisters or my children could have probably experienced me at a particular time to be that queen bee, even
Okay.
if I didn't intend to.
Uh,
The trick for me, if I talk to myself, is to kind of like be continuously learning, be eager to learn. I mean, the issue around self awareness and
yeah.
digging deeper, for me, and having found coaches and a transformational coach that has made me to be who I am is as that result of like, you want to learn more, you want to surround yourself with giants because you are who you are, but the people that are around you. Yes, I have actually, unfortunately, didn't have any women that were my supervisors in my life. So I had men, the good, the bad, and the ugly of those. But yes, I have had women that I worked with. Some of them embraced me, for who I am,
Mhm.
embrace people who wanted to learn me. And I think the what you posted as digging from somebody that I influenced was one of the young women. I can definitely be sure about that. Who it's one of those mentees that I assumed myself to be a mentor, you know. And there are some women actually who have deprived me of positions that I've applied for no particular reason. And in fact, I get told by the people around them, hey, that woman doesn't like you. That woman, this is what she said. And you're kind of like, what did I do to this woman? But through the me and the being and the becoming I have been, I have learned to forgive myself first for having portrayed myself to those particular people who didn't embrace me. I have forgiven those who couldn't because I want to live my authentic me. So for me,
Yeah.
that is kind of like, that is what we have to understand. Not everybody else is going to be excited about you, but dig deeper. Find other people that are going to find your blind spots, and you must be clear about what life you want to live.
Sure. So this easy term, Dr. Mvusi, that always would say, you know what, be real with situations around you. You will never be liked by anybody. I mean, by everybody.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And again, we just say from there, just get real and get along with it. And
Yes.
it brings us to that easy term, ukuthi uzoba strong, you know, along this life.
Exactly, Nsiki.
Yeah.
We're talking about the untold stories of women, which is something I'm passionate about again, which is actually
Yeah.
bringing the voices of women, executive women, because
Yeah.
there's this narrative that we don't have competent women out there. There's this narrative
Yeah.
that it's like, when you get into the boardroom, everything is kind of like, and you get the title. So we have so many people, and there
Mhm.
are a lot of women that are in the boardroom that have
Yes.
been silenced, which is what I call corporate social silencing. That
Yeah.
are silenced. And what we do, because we are feeding our own egos, we are worried about actually like our own children or our bread or whatever. We stay there. We lose the
Yeah.
who we are. And those
Mm.
deep seated issues are those that are they actually culminate into, one of the women was talking, it's the trauma that no
Mm.
MBA, no training, no wellness can address. Is the healing that we
Yeah.
have to actually go through. And
Yes.
we have to accept people as they are. Ziggy, you
Yeah.
don't like me. You have your own reasons that you don't like me, but I
Yeah.
will be true to myself.
Yeah. And you know what? Even in Xhosa, sometimes we had some easy terms where people would just say, they look at me as "Nontsikelelo Ncopho," and like, I don't like her. Not even that I don't like her. Someone who's out andimpiwanga,
Injalo.
you know. And then someone says, uzompiwa ungubani wena? Why fanele umphiwe? Because she's not created for you. If you don't like her, then pass. You know, pass and go to those who like it. People don't
Yes.
like you for no reason.
Yes.
Oh, I always say there's a reason, Dr. Mvisi, because they look at you, they see the light in you, and they see the greatness in you. People can see through you. Some people are very gifted, and as they see the potential in you, they
Yes.
see if we put this Nomvuselelo Songelwa in the position of a CEO of this organization, then it means we can be shut down, in other areas. And people don't understand the greatness in you that you are going to bring them up as women. And also, really, there are things we need to speak about as women. They think if there's a man, because they can even do ways and means of flirting with them. If it's a woman as a CEO, they can't flirt and get things and all, the
Yes.
nitty gritties and the flags around and be embraced as the because there's a woman on top. This thing, these are not hard topics, I say. They are real topics. We need
Yes.
to deal with them and we
Yes.
need to speak about them and need to break them down and get them out of the way. If we don't, Dr. Mvusi and me, if we don't do this in our platforms, our children are going to struggle and, because of the same spirit that will be transferred to their generations. What do you say about that?
You actually like hitting my passion, and you're gonna make me like now feel more excited
Yeah.
uh, for two reasons or three. But
Yes.
you know I can tell you now, any man who has a daughter takes his daughter to a private school, and they actually are aspiring and inspiring that daughter to be the best and to actually like the world is an oyster kind of whatever narrative. And yet, what happens when you get to the boardroom? That same daughter, as educated as she is, she actually doesn't, you know, gets the kind of embracing. Either the way you speak, you will be labeled, or how you dress, you will be labeled, or what you have studied, you will be labeled, or how you look, or how your body is, you will always just be labeled. But an inspired woman and an empowered woman, which is what we are wanting to, we have to actually leave as a legacy, is to actually know that we have sons. By the way,
Yeah.
one of my sons' birthday today. I've got 5 beautiful children.
Oh,
2 of them are actually married to my sons. So when you actually really think about it, you have to start from home. How I treat my daughter-in-laws, I don't use that term. It must be the
yes.
same way that I would like other my sons to treat another woman. And I keep on saying this. When both of them were married, I told them, if you abuse this child, I'll be the first one to take you to jail.
Mm.
So we have to bring our own children to be what both boys and girls to respect each other. So I have gone beyond actually saying it's about men, it's women, because the whole thing is a human being is what you see is just a piece or a tip of the high iceberg. There's a lot of kind of things that are happening deep down the person, the things that we can't see, the motivation, the beliefs, the values, the reasons why that person behaves the way that he does. And these are the kind of things that we're talking to, that we need to actually look at and kind of like dig deeper, because we are all wounded people, men, women, but we don't talk about these things. Yes, we have had those women who don't support us. Yes, we had some men who don't support us. But amongst us all, if the end goal is equal opportunity, is humanity, we need to be driving a narrative and stories and solutions that are actually respecting a person as humanity, as a human being. And that when we
Yes.
lead, we should not do the leadership. We must not act. We go to do something. We have to be leaders, and it starts from within. And that is why I
Mm.
like the show that says the power to lead, but then I add it only
Mm.
comes from within. It starts
Yes.
with you. Before
Yes.
you can lead others, you need to lead yourself. And that I learned at a very late stage of my life. I would be a better leader than I was 3 years ago.
Yeah. And Dr. Mvuse, it's about who you are and now to know yourself. You took us to that level. And the very first thing when you lead with integrity, I put it to love. It's about love.
Yes.
Loving who you are
Yes.
first. And
Yes.
then you can pour out what you have and to see with the eyes of love, hear with ears of love.
Yes.
Then you become empathetic with situations. And now I love this because it takes us to understand and to want to know more about you. What is your passion exactly? And how did you define it?
For me, my as I indicated earlier, when
Mm.
I asked myself why am I always protecting the absent? Why am I always wanting to speak for the underdogs?
Yeah.
Why irks me when somebody disrespects me and somebody undermines me or sabotages me or silences me or pushes me away? So I had to ask those questions for me. What irks me? Why? Why? And I actually just then realized that my passion is about I really love to be fair. I mean, I really love to be in happy spaces. I don't like toxicity. I don't like people
Mm.
who actually skinner about others. My friends will tell you that.
Mm.
I don't talk about somebody else in his or her absence, because I'm going to
Yeah.
repeat the same thing that you told her, you told me about her or whatever. So for me, my passion is fairness, is to actually just see that we treat each other with, we fair,
Yeah.
and we have also to be authentic, to be who we are, there used to be, when I don't know about you, I used to work in a male dominated institution, and that's when I learned that it's not about being white or a man or a woman or black. So most of the times people connect with each other
Yeah.
because you are aligned, your values are the same. You go abroad, you meet people in a program of 40, like you are 40 global citizens in this program. You stay together for a year, but you will always get aligned and retain friendship over
Yes.
years with people that you met that year because you share the same values. So for me, it is that yes, most of the categories, most of the people, they oppress each other. We can say most men, for instance, are oppressive to men, the same way we would say most elderly women were oppressive to younger women.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
how do we really voice these things, verbalize them? Because if we don't verbalize them, we'll never address them. There are good things that we do in any other culture, that there's a good and the others that are bad. And I think what we really need to do is to evoke that in authenticity amongst ourselves, and we redefine, we unlearn some things, we learn other things, and we relearn other things, because
Yeah.
life is not static, like you are doing now. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do what you are doing now. You are on technology, those kind of things which were not there before, so which means we evolve, we change, we must embrace change, we must take a break, we must reflect and look at how can we be the best of ourselves to serve humanity, because that is all what we want. We all want to serve humanity, and because we are unique, we will all like come from different angles. We will bring our skills, our attributes, and together we can make the world better. Me and
Yeah.
you, now we can decide we are going to design a program. If we
Yes.
are about women, if we are about leadership, the program is going to be better than I would if I would do it on my own. And that is
Mm.
life. That is
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the world has actually detached our African values, and we are groomed to be to and schooled to be so individualism, competition,
Mm. Yeah.
outshining each other is actually the
Mm.
thing. I think we are all realizing now that we united, we shall stand.
Yes. Absolutely. You have covered actually even the next question about your purpose. You have just lined up your purpose to serve humanity. Now, in the next 45 minutes, our left with, you are going now to assist us to help somebody to learn from you from the show how to break down now that purpose or through the
Mm.
programs that you'll be doing as well and will also be doing. Now, Dr. Mvusi, you said something very, very profound. In the villages where we grew up, bekubakho into kuthiwa lilima, something called
Yes.
ilima. It's,
Yes.
what is ilima ngesingesi? Collaboration, actually.
Yes.
Do
Actually,
you know? A
yeah,
collaboration, actually. Yes.
it is.
And if someone needs her garden, if we see that your garden needs to be tended first, then we all wake up in the morning. All you do, you just do some drink for us with meal that is called amaheu. It's now
Yes.
in the branded markets as amaheu with banana
Mhm.
flavor and strawberries. But amaheu with just milimi, and we wake up, we get our own tools. I come with my own, tool to your garden and others, all of us around in the community.
Yes.
We start with this garden.
Yes.
We
Yes.
work on this garden. We make sure this family is balanced. And all
Yes.
you do, you feel that at least give us energy during the day. Then we go to the next garden, all of us again as a team. Where has that spirit gone?
So you you know, I had it's one of the lessons that I was taught through cattle herding. As you know, if you have 10 or more cattle, there's no
Mm,
way that you can actually like find this cattle in the field on your own. But if you rely on other boys,
yeah,
you know, and you have a good relationship with other boys, you will actually, they will tell you, oh, I saw it there, oh, it was there with the others and I brought it. When you go too deep is the same thing. They have to
yeah,
be together, and as your flock comes in, then you have all the boys coming, helping you for these cattle to get into that row. Similar, you do the same thing. That's collaboration. Where is it
yeah.
gone? I tell you, it's the schooling for me.
Mm, mm,
The schooling, we have actually embraced more the Western, uh, the Western ideas as the ideas. I can tell you now, even in leadership, even in the MBA schools, you will find that a lot of books that are prescribed are, are books that are written by
yeah,
either the Western world, of course, because they probably wrote these things.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
And I think that is how we have been like channeled, dogmatized to
mm,
actually undermine the who we are as African people, to
yeah.
actually like step on each other, you know.
Mm,
And you know, if there is something you are doing right, then you are actually brought down by your very own people, by your very own women, by the same people that come from your own village, because we think competition is the thing.
mm,
And I think COVID actually has taught us a lot. Maybe it is a way of God saying, take a step back, guys, just
yeah,
reflect. Because now we have come out, all of us, we are recognizing the smaller businesses that they have to connect with the bigger businesses.
yes,
People are excited about authentic stories, you know. The
yes,
world is descending to Africa because they want to actually learn more about the wisdom the creativity, the innovation in Africa. Guess
Yeah.
what is happening is that we don't celebrate ours. When they go abroad, then they would actually get celebrated there. And only afterwards, we want to give them awards after they have
Yes.
been celebrated elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
mentality, you know?
Mm.
You might have probably gone through, and a lot of people are saying these things. I've knocked on so many doors in
Yeah.
South Africa. I had this idea. I went to funders. I had
Yeah.
this idea. No one actually, But what
Mm.
I did, I connected with somebody who saw this as, wow, this is innovative and whatever. And they elevated me, and this is where I am. And then people come back. Now we want to plug in. So
Yes.
for me, it's, yeah, as the mindset.
Yes.
Um, we undermine the who we are and what we can bring, and it starts from us. It starts from me. Even
Mm.
myself, I always say, if I had the confidence a long time ago, if this is who I am and I didn't have these fears, I would have been probably far. I would have, and this is what I always think. But now I'm a better person to know that it's okay not to know. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's
Yes.
okay to go to a stranger and ask. It's okay to actually greet someone else, sincerely wanting to know, okay, what are you doing? That networking. And those are the things that for me, I withheld because I was fearing something. Now, if you're vulnerable, you be yourself. In fact, that is what people are looking for. Go out with your flaws, you know, because
Yes.
everybody knows that we all like human beings, but don't fake. Because if you do
Yes.
fake and you
Yeah.
act, people see through you.
Yes. You know what I like about this? Let me bring out something because I see we are wearing blue today, both of us. And I love
I
I
don't
love
know.
that because this is hope. It's blue for hope. You know those colors we used to do that when we grew up.
Yes,
Yellow
white for
for
peace.
jealousy, blue for hope, and then white for peace, black for sorrow, and all those things,
Yes,
red for danger, you know.
and
But
we
I love
didn't
it.
plan. We
Yes, we
didn't
didn't
plan.
plan. I'm bringing this hope that you brought to the world, and I'm bringing up this poster. And
Mm.
I know you're not going to like cry. If you cry, it will be beautiful. And I'm reading this, and when I read this poster, I see what leadership is. And you don't need many, you need just one to give you hope for tomorrow. It's on the
Yes,
screen. And
yes,
it says, Dr. Nomvuselelo Songelwa, open the door for me when I have been knocking for many years. A woman that elevates other women as she rises. An administrative perfectionist, a silent disciplinarian. I love that. Through her, I have learned that mediocrity will not take you far in life. Surrounding yourself with people that never challenges you, not only will it pull you back, but it weakens your growth.
yes,
Decisiveness is one of the many strengths she holds. A
mm,
driver for change, a teacher at heart. I have learned through her that we can laugh together while
yes,
delivering the best work. Due diligence is an order of the day. Her laughter is therapeutic. I realized through her that I too can age gracefully. By embracing family and physical strengths, family comes first. Her
Yes.
kids and mother are dear to her. Something that no success in life can
Yes.
ever give you. It is through this woman that I knew a job title comes secondary to who
Wow.
you are. It does not define you. A realization few will wake up to. I am grateful and I salute you, MVUSY.
My gosh.
This is so beautiful. This is what we have to tell
My
each other
gosh.
whilst we are alive, and
Yes.
what you need to hear, and what the globe needs to hear. We are on the global platform, thank God.
Yes.
And this
Yes.
is so beautiful. Let me even bring you closer to the stage so people see this, that leadership is through influence. We
Yes.
we always say, and young children, leaders and younger generation, they are always saying here, we don't see leaders, we need role models. I
Mm.
bring to you, here she is, Dr. Mvuselelo Songelwa. Imvuselelo is a revival. We are here reviving
Oh,
what
wow.
God has planted on this earth is back to basics. It's a revival and a blessing. She's a revival and blessings. And as she said before, we are here and we are saying, take up the baton. When we talk about back to basics, Dr. Mvusi, I
Yeah.
know you're about to take that program now, and that is your purpose. Please tell us about that, and then we can get to the other end of your life. Tell us about what you're about to do with women.
Yes. Wow. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. You know, really talking about, I hear some, can you hear the background?
Yes, I hear you very well. You can just maybe lift your voice a little, but I hear you.
Okay. Um,
Good.
the, the, there's an echo though when I talk. I don't know if you can hear.
Oh, I hear you clearly. I don't hear the echo.
Oh, okay. Let me continue.
Okay.
It's from my side. So
Okay, no problem.
what what we are doing is to bring together women. In fact, it's not together first. I'm having conversations like you are doing now with executive women that are in the positions and those that have been in the positions to talk about what is it that we are not talking about in the executive positions. We hear some women who kind of like, I didn't care what I was going to do, but there was no way I could stay there. They go out, they find other things to do. We have some women who actually are there and they can't get out of the positions. But when they talk outside with the family on friends, they talk about the violence that is happening behind the closed doors of boardrooms, along the corridors of the offices where they lead. And this silencing is happening at different levels. And people just decide, I'm not going to voice anything because I am not seen or I am not recognized or I'm not included in the decision making. And sometimes I get to the boardroom and you can see that people have discussed this thing. Or I am there, I am just like in a position and people want me to sign things that I haven't decided or that I do not want, I don't want to do. And then I don't want to compromise myself because things might happen. So they get silenced also by the things that people say to them. You know, either you're an iron lady, or you were saying you're a queen bee, or please don't be emotional. So you get silenced by not only the people that are supervising you, but even you will find out there's group mobilizing of people that are bullying you as an executive. And little do you know that these people are probably influenced by somebody who is at the higher echelon. And these are the things that are coming up with these conversations that I have had already. So I'm still continuing. And I'm also going to bring men that are going to talk about their insights of having executive women, either they have posed or they have worked with. And what we want to do is to highlight these untold stories. And then we come up with solutions. And what is coming from this preliminary research already is these things that people do in the boardroom. Others are subtle, it could be, it's not a harassment that you can actually say, this is what this person did, it's the whispering that happened. It's how people belittle you or undermine you, or do not provide you with the resources or recognize you. All those kind of things are coming up as the silencing. But these things have got long-term impact. And the unfortunate part is that this long-term impact is dealing with the people. It's the pain, it's the hurt, it's the trauma. It affects the well-being of the person, which has an impact in people's family, and in fact, even with the productivity of the work that they are supposed to do. So these are the things that are coming up now. And some of the solutions are coming out of these discussions to say, listen, the organization needs to actually address the climate survey outcomes. Because this information is there. One, people get to know why people are living. Two, people should not be blaming the plant when you're putting it in a pot when it's withering. You have to look at the environment as the organization itself. What are the things that you need to do to support women that are in this position? Because leadership is a spiritual journey, and it is a hidden journey. And the lessons that we are learning from these discussions is that we need to dig deeper. We heal leaders in this organization. So after these interviews that we're going to have, we're hoping to have a symposium, a physical symposium, where we're going to invite people and, yes, deal with the issues. And then we are going to have a retreat, maybe by March, March and February, so where we're going to have a transformational retreat for executive women. The focus is on executive women. And if you are listening, executive woman or the corporate or whoever, and you want to partner with us, I'm bringing on board global coaches. I'm also bringing, we have our media partner, which is Vita Online. We really want, and this is the first of its kind in South Africa, this retreat that is focusing on executive women and actually talking about the untold stories as a way of healing. And at the outcome of this discussion is that people will get to actually be authentic, would have relieved some of the things that they had been bottling up over the time. And hopefully we want to influence the corporate in terms of how they can truly support executive women in the workspace, and making sure that we're actually building an empowered executive leader, an executive woman that's going to make an impact, which is what we are supposed to bring in the boardroom as complementing what we have.
Exactly. And you know, Dr. Mpos, it's exactly that when you say back to basics, let us be real in doing these things, not conversations for the sake of transactions.
Yes.
I always say, not just transactions, let there be a transformation.
Yeah.
So we bring in the transformation that even those, you know, I used to interview people for executive positions and for board membership. And,
Mm.
you know, I remember one story where I ended up not having the interview because I had to allow someone to pour out the experience of what she was traumatized from the previous organization. And it was like, okay, the time for interview is almost over and I need to send you to the client. But on the other hand, you have to exercise empathy, but you have to balance this. Bring us to that
So
emotional balance again
that
in leadership.
relationship between the oversight structure and executives,
Yeah.
it is something that we really need to be talking about, because
Mm.
these executive structures that are put in place to provide an oversight for CEOs, you find that they are the ones that compete with with management, or they are actually want to be operational. And for me, that's exactly this kind of things that we really need to actually look at. Is that
Mm.
who are we bringing? Are we really bringing people that are wanting to support the CEOs for the interest and the growth of this organization? Or we are bringing people with some personal agendas, or somebody who's carrying somebody else's personal agendas? And if we don't talk about those things, we will actually never address the leadership quagmire that we currently have.
Absolutely. And you know, coming to that, because this is just another book we're talking about, just on that aspect only. Now, how did you balance you personally? You've been not just a board member, you've been a board member in many organizations, but now in particular, I want to focus on being a chairperson in a board of a big organization and you knowing very well how a chairperson can be diced by her or his own board members and be treated. How do you balance your emotions there? And also tell us about your recent, you just said bye-bye to one of the biggest positions globally, where you were the chairwoman in one of the of Tatu Mandela entities. Tell us
Yes,
about
yes.
that. We can't pass that because we need to blow this to show not just the world but us, and to say to you, Mvusi, I celebrate you. You did it, sister. You were there, you know, for sisterhood in South Africa, and you were holding this flag high. And that was for us as women. We should all be celebrating and saying, yeah, when we say diversity and inclusion, we have these women. They are there. Don't look further in like, where are they? They are there. Here is Vusi. She did that revival in that entity. Tell us and be bold and share with us the
Yes.
beauty of
Oh
that
my
entity.
goodness.
Yes.
You know, Tiki, I don't know about you, but I have learned leadership from the people that led me. And I learned leadership through the things that I have seen that they are going through.
Mm.
I've been very fortunate enough to have very good relationship with the CEOs of the company where I was an executive member, and have experienced how gruesome, how CEOs have to navigate the politics. you know.
Mm.
And I have actually learned to be the leader that I have experienced and not experienced. Am I making sense?
Yes,
To
yeah,
take the
I hear you
mistakes,
very well.
take the
Yeah.
mistakes of the leaders that. So it's like I want to be the leader that he was not or she was not.
Mm.
So you kind of like reflect, yo, this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay, I want to be that leader. Let me say this. When it comes to, for instance, the chairperson, it was my first time to be a chairperson in that board. It was actually my first time to be in the board then. And
Wow.
that was actually played against me by board members. So actually saying, no, it's her first time to be the leader, to be the chairperson in the boardroom. And for me, the very first thing that I did was to actually have a discussion with the CEO and said to the CEO, I'm going to bring the who I am here. I want to be the spoon. You are going to be the fork. Anything that falls through, I will be the space. Between the two of us, I want you to tell me everything, a challenge, something you worried about, because I don't want to be surprised in the boardroom when people are criticizing you. It's your responsibility to make me your sounding board. It doesn't mean I'm going to listen, I'm not going to listen to other board members, but my responsibility as a person who reports directly to me, I need to be privy of the discussions that are happening in all the committees, the mistakes you have made, and whatever, so that I don't criticize you in the boardroom, but I'm able to accept and be objective and kind of like show the support that we are going to correct this thing as a collective. And that is how I've actually been. The previous CEO, that was me. The new CEO of the Nelson Mandela Museum is exactly that. And what happens most of the time, because you are working with people at a personal level, you then tend to have a relationship with the person, because that person can call you anytime when things are not right. You are able to tell the person, and he will know, even if you are commenting, you are criticizing, you are disciplining them in the boardroom, that you are not attacking them as people, but you are attacking, you are playing the ball. And that is how for me it has worked. And even today, I do have a relationship with even the staff members, but I am not what I differentiate, I still have the professional boundary and the personal boundaries. It doesn't mean that I'm going to compromise the authority that I have been given. So for me, that the chairperson, and even in the boardroom, it is not what you say, it's how you say it. I serve in another organization, and they are mature people, and you can say that if you can even learn from the people that are commenting that, yes, we see this gap, and we hope and we think that management must go back and look at this thing. And everybody is very clear that the assertion is not about criticizing, it's about empowering management, which is what is there. But at the same time, as the other colleague has actually said, from what you read, I don't fall short if you are not listening, or if I find something that is not in line, I will not hesitate to make tough decisions. Because for me, I know that at the back of my mind, I had given you one rope, the second rope, the third rope, and there's no way that we can compromise the organization. And for me, that is what is important. My values are very clear. I actually articulate them from the very first time I come in. This is what I will not tolerate. This is what I will embrace. And please, if you are coming from a toxic environment or negative environment to me, I am not going to take that gift because I am not about that. So, yes, it happens. Conflict happens within the boardroom, but you just have to really deal with people and the consistency, and people will know the who you are. And I don't actually become racial. I will even I don't have preferences with men or women, but I have actually affinity to women when I see that they really need to grow. So for me, that is actually the who I am. I would like to leave a trail that in any organization that I've been, at least there is one person who said, I was inspired by MVUSY. I am here because of MVUSY. That's my purpose.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. MVUSY. You know, I would love for you to give us your last note on this theme in leadership, the line that you love so much. Let us not do leadership, let us be leadership. What is your last note on that level?
As the positions that we hold, firstly, is that leadership is not the position that you hold, it's not the title that you have. I celebrate more now that people see me as a leader and I'm not in any position or I don't hold any title. And all those that have left because they were associated with me for being in any other position, they are gone. And the people that I have in my life are people that are actually taking me as a person. And that is what it is. You have leadership is a being because you are a human being. We all have flaws. We all are not perfect. And what we need to do is to be vulnerable with each other. We need to embrace each other. And most of the time, we need to celebrate the diversity because it can be an organization or a team with only one voice. For me, that is what is important. We must allow, we must include, we must make an effort to include, we must love. And I think that is for me what you said. And this is not sexual love, but is you really love people for who they are, and you must actually know when it's time to exit.
I hear you. And you put it so well, from the do and to be. Even if people see your name, they see the being of the ways of how you approached things and they see the results. So you gave us your legacy in between. Give us a liner now of your legacy and umalusi as ungumalusi. You know, also let us just say, I celebrate you as Mama Zala. You know, amazing young Mama Zalas. I was setting up a program. One of the programs is for the young Mama Zalas, and I was
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for the third one. And I know, anyway, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to
I
be a
would
beautiful
love
one.
that, right?
It's going to be a beautiful one on the young Mama Zalas. And happy birthday to our son. In
Yes,
our culture, he is our
absolutely.
son. We claim him, especially if I know you from way before you even had that child. So it's our son. So happy
Yes.
birthday to him.
Yes.
And also our beautiful daughter who makes sure that our son is happy and loved. So we celebrate his birthday today. And I jokingly said to myself when I looked so many birthdays in December, I said, I counted. Parents were busy from March, April, May, including the prematures in that list, those who were
Yes.
born in December.
Yes.
So parents were busy in
I'm a
March.
December baby as well.
Wow. Yes, yes. You also a December baby. Happy birthday to you as well. And to the
Thank you.
double celebration to the family. And that
Yes.
is also to say thank you so much for your time. Today,
Thank you
you've
very
gained
much.
another name, Nomonde. You've been so
Oh
patient.
my gosh, that's my mother's name.
That's your,
What
that's
is
your mother's name?
my mother's name?
Actually, I was like, okay, I don't want to say, am I a prophet or something? Because I know I'm a seer in the spirit. But I was like, could that be her mother's name? But I see no Monde in her today. But look at God, what He did. Anyway, beautiful. We had a beautiful conversation. And
Thank you.
you and me, we know very well it's
Yes.
just a tip of what we are starting. More is coming, and we are
Yes.
going to unpack this so that everybody, not just women, everybody, women
Yes.
and men and younger
Yes.
generation, people
Yes.
can just be in positions because they qualify and they deserve, and not be tokens and not be tortured. There was a term like, oh, I'm traumatized, I'm attacked in the workplace, I'm traumatized.
Yes.
Those things must end.
Yes.
And I had a beauty of being trained and now being a full practitioner on the CRT healing, natural healing, emotions, trauma, stress, and thoughts. That is a cellular resonance technique. So it's a beautiful thing that says we heal from the past so that we
Yes.
can be the beings that were created to produce the fruits we're supposed to produce in the future.
And
Beautifully so. You put it beautifully so. You brought in forgiveness. You forgive people. And that's a first step in the cellular resonance technique. Forgive and let go those and empty anger and all those negative energies so that you can be this being that can produce your
yes.
yes, yes. Whatever you want to say now, this is your moment to say it to the world, and then we can close the show. Thank you so much from me. I learned a lot, and thank you so much. You saw I was taking notes as well. So thank you so, so much. And it's so lovely to learn from someone you know, from a friend, from a good sister, from a colleague, from, schoolmate. Thank you so much, Dr. MVUSY.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
I,
you.
I think firstly I must celebrate you, Ntuli, for bringing the African experience to the world, because that is what we want. We want to really evoke that spirit of oneness. And most of the time, when we talk about Africa to the world, we talk about the negative things through media. And what you are doing, you are actually elevating the humanity. You are reclaiming us as the African sons and daughters to the world. And I think for me, that's really where that is. So I salute you, sister, for that. And may God actually really bless you for the work that you do. And I think for me, it's really about the power is within us. The power is with us. And that is all what we really need to do. We need to embrace each other. Again, vulnerability is the strength. Let's move from trying to do the things, but to be the best of what we want to do to make this world a better place, to make our communities better places, to make our households better places. But that will start from us, and no government will do that for us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. What a revival. Really, the naming of someone. The parents got it so well. You
My
know,
grandmother, my grandmother
it's,
taught.
it's a grandmother. Me, it's my grandfather who gave me his daughter's name, Nontsikelelo. And
Wow.
so beautifully so, we came to revive and to bless the world. And
Yes.
above all, it started with us. As we do
Yes.
this, it starts from within. It starts with us right now. There are things I've been learning along as we are teaching now and empowering us. And like, wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much,
And,
Dr.
and
Mvusi.
in my last
You're
word
right. Yes,
to actually just say thank you to all the men.
yes,
I wanted to say just my last word is to thank all the men that have made me to be who I am, and my family, my children who have made me to who I am, and those women that have been my coaches and mentors that elevated me. Thank you very much. That
wow.
includes you.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Mvusi. And really, this is a time to be grateful, of gratitude to God for creating us. We finishing the year, and we're grateful to those who planted their seeds and trusted
Yes.
us that we will even listen. People don't listen when they're being advised and taught. So
Yeah.
others don't answer, give you the right answer when you ask. So beautifully, you kept it all. And above all, thanks to our children.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, before I come to a show, my daughter makes sure everything I'm in good order. The technology today was doing stuff on me. And she kept on coming and saying, Ma, calm down, it's okay. You're going to have a
Yes.
great show. And
Yes.
after
Yes.
this, I know somebody's going to ask, how was the show? I'm proud of you. You did well, you know. So thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you to our
Thank you very
children.
much, Sissy. I really
Oh,
appreciate.
thank you so much. And as we end the show, we want to thank our viewers out there and thank you for your loves and likes and thank you for being with us and for watching, for listening above all. And for those who will be watching the show after this live show, thank you so much. We like the following. Please follow us, like our pages on Facebook. They are exactly what you see on the screen. Mine is NTSIKI NCOCO. Dr. Mvusi is Mvusi Songelwa. Just as LinkedIn and YouTube, please follow us, like, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I also want to say thank you to our sponsors, VUCA Africa Foundation in South Africa, and Amen, Amplified Moms Empowerment Network from California in the USA. Thank you for making sure that Empower to Lead show is always running smooth. Thank you so much. We love you. Have a beautiful week. We are coming back with power to lead with integrity, and that power starts within you. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.